we will be talking about the advanced meditation techniques. We did one just now, the MEMT. We'll be doing the MIMT, that is Mind Imagery Technique, MIRT or MIRT. Emotions management is what we just did. Mind Imagery Technique, MIMT. We'll do that after this little introduction again. Now coming to just a little revision on what we talked last time, right? The DRT, deep relaxation technique. Here too, let us talk about this a bit, then move into the other practices. Especially today's discussion will be on Om meditation and MIMT. DRT. I have, with usual yoga teachers, we see that it's more of a routine. We make them lie down and give them instructions. We always begin with reading the instructions from the manual. We see that people will be lying down and the teacher will take out the book and start reading the instructions, which is okay. That's for the beginner. And then as we progress, we have, some of us at least, have seen some of the teachers just making it a ritual. Just a ritual of relaxation where the same instructions go each time, and the people who are the clients or the students who have practiced all these asanas want just some place to rest. So they say, okay, relaxation. So instructions are happening on their own, and it's my time to relax and sleep and catch some sleep. That is how the mentality has been in the class, where I see teachers just taking this as one of the, just a practice. I have to read out those instructions from the mind or from memory or from the book, it doesn't matter. That should not be DRT. When you want to give therapy or when you want to advance a person in a sadhana, either way, you want to start giving them the concept of DRT each time. Sometimes focus on the awareness. I just do this all the time in my sessions, especially for people who are suffering from some anxiety. And as we said yesterday, for those who are into therapy, that everybody who comes with any problem, the problem starts from the mind. So the solution is mind. So how are you going to break that monotony of saying relax your toes, relax your ankles, relax your calf muscles, relax your knees and so forth, right? If every time you go on saying that, neither it is fun for you, nor it is fun for your clients. So what you want to do, you can also sit in maybe Shitala Dandasana. Don't lie down and give DRT, because then the effect is lost. They know that you are sleeping, you know they are sleeping, and just, okay, let's combinedly sleep. That's not the session. It's a waste of a precious session. It's much more precious than all the asanas put together. So don't waste that opportunity to help them and help yourself. The best way is to sit in Shitala Dandasana, or you can sit in cross-legged, in any position. When you are saying relax your toes are also, bring your awareness to your toes as well, and then relax them, feel that, and give instructions accordingly. So you will see that your then instructions are no longer automated instructions, because sometimes you feel like, oh wait, I have to do this. Something comes to your mind saying, feel that resonance of akara. Maybe some days you are more inspired by the resonance. Some days you are more inspired by the awareness of the body. Some days you are more inspired by the out-of-body experience. You will feel that yourself. So these are the great meditative sessions for you, while they may be relaxation, awareful and wakeful relaxation session for them. So don't miss that opportunity of growth for yourself through these practices. Otherwise, you sit down to do this yourself, even in your home, very, very awareful, lie down and bring your awareness to toes, knees, this, that, and in between somewhere you are yourself either asleep or you went somewhere and came back, it won't happen too much. But you develop a skill of meditation in your class yourself by doing DRT. So keep that as the most important sacred time for yourself. Leave alone the clients, even yourself. So don't miss that opportunity. People pacing up and down and saying relaxing. Why are you pacing up and down? It's so boring to do. Oh, wait a minute. It's so boring to give these instructions, and that's why you want to pace along. If you are so restless and pacing, imagine you can give any tranquilizing instructions at that point. Not at all. We see this especially in Vyasa, because there are little young students giving these instructions, and obviously they are bored and they are not coming here for sadhana. They just want a degree and they just come there and find DRT instructions, fine, pace along, and the student will be wondering, somebody who is lying down, they are afraid that you are going to step on them. and by the way, there are the feet touches also in some cases. By the way, you also need to know there are people who are very conscious about their mat space, about their own body space, and we had one OCD person who stormed out of the class because one next student who walked in went to the other. She was lying down here and there was space next to her, so he came through the door, and while walking he stepped on her mat on the side, and she quickly just packed her mat and left, stormed out literally. And this was, then we didn't know what was going on. We made a call, teacher told me, and I don't know what happened, and this is what she just left, I don't know what happened. Then we called and she said, this guy just stepped on my mat, and it's very precious mat for me because I like to be clean. She was an OCD person. And then we had to tell her, okay, you find a place in the corner so that nobody goes across, so that nobody will step on your mat. So all of these exist, so you don't want to be pacing around, especially they even pace around between the students in Vyasa. It's okay. In India, usually people are not that OCD kind of people. They are OCD in different ways, but when it comes to space, they are not, that conscious and sensitive. So
that was my big thing coming here.
Yeah.
Standing in the line.
Yeah. Maintain a distance. Really? That's how you stand in the line? Me? Pushing others. Yeah. In any case, I just wanted to bring all these aspects, and so that your DRT is no longer the same DRT that was there earlier, and automated instructions memorized in your mind and just flowing without your awareness. Please don't do that. Okay. And now coming to what all things can be done in DRT to enrich it. One is, always when they lie down, bring the awareness of sounds around them, right? And let them think of what is happening outside. Pay attention to the sounds outside. Why? Because there are lots of sounds inside, and when they take their mind away from into the, say, listen to the bird chirping or a car that is zooming across, suddenly the mind is now clear. You know, remember we talked about that in bhajan. Something is looping into their mind, and they just suddenly, oh, okay, I have to think of, there is a sound there, oh, okay, that kind of awareness happens. So think of the sounds around you, bring your awareness to the room, to the skin that is exposed. Feel that cool air touching the skin as you inhale, exhale. Feel that surface awareness, the mat touching the body. And when you, so this should be the first set of instructions before you even begin. The breath, be aware of your breath, then scan the body. Scanning the body is important. Any tight points. I used to do this. I used to always hold somehow when I lie down, I'm holding my thumb. They are just tight for whatever reason. And many people have such things. A little vasana of holding their attention somewhere without their knowledge. So when you scan your body and find any tight point, any place where you are holding, just let go. So that hold can be in the stomach muscle, it can be a glandular hold, it can be autonomous system, anywhere. There there is that tension which is manifested in one of these body mind faculties. So just scan the body, scan the mind, and let go. So this let go, teaching them to let go initially itself. Then the awareness of body doesn't become relax your toes. It can be. The beginning stage is relax your toes, relax, 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 relax. But the next stage of meditation can be relax by watching. So many a times we say relax your toes, wiggle your toes, relax. How about just relax your toes? Just simply let go. And I just want to give an example of what happened. We yesterday went to that concert, right? Beautiful concert, amazing concert. And I'm sitting there and there was a nagging pain here, nagging pain for 2 days. Endless. And I said, wait, I'm in the show. First 10, 15 minutes, nothing. The show was going on, a beautiful show, but I said, wait, I have to work on this. So I just sat there and let me do DRT of just that point. I closed my eyes, beautiful music surrounding, and totally focused on every nerve fiber of just that little spot there. And within half an hour, I just focused for 10 minutes and relaxed and relaxed and relaxed, and then opened my eyes. Put a sankalpa there, and I said, let me enjoy the show. I don't care if it continues to hurt, it hurts. I accepted it. And then half an hour later, and even today, I did how many Surya Namaskars? No pain. That is the power. I didn't expect that myself to happen. I did not expect that to happen. It happened. So this is the power of DRT. And how does that deepen? If you just said relax, 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 it may or may not happen. Sometimes you just watch it. Choiceless watching, as Vipassana says, right? Simply watch, see it. And that's how you can just relax. Nothing to do. Just put a sankalpa there and just let it just happen. Just watch.
So can we at some point practice this? Because I tried this, like sometimes you are upset about something and then you sit down, okay, I will try to watch it,
Yeah.
but I couldn't do it. So like, how do you bring that? How do you?
Yeah. So we will be doing that in our cyclic meditation practices. Unfortunately, the number of hours in session are not enough for us. You have to come for at least some 10 months like this. Then maybe. Otherwise, it's very difficult to cover the whole syllabus. But yes, for cyclic meditation, when we do cyclic meditation, if you decide to stay awake through the DRT sessions, that's the point. Every DRT session is going to be different. At some point, you want relaxation, like total relaxation to the point of death. Remember we said death experience. Some relaxations have to be like that. Become cold, like cold and blue. Feel that you are becoming cold and blue. That's the visualization of DRT. In some cases, Vipassana kind of observing. Just observe. Don't do anything. Just feel those tingling sensations. The prana, when you observe, you feel it. That kind of DRT. Some days, Vyana kind of rotations, where you just move the prana from, down to up. That kind of, it's like a DRT for the most part. But so basically, wakeful state of relaxation. It can be progressive muscle relaxation, it can be observation of those muscles and the prana that is inside, or it can be just even moving the prana with your willpower, right? You can feel that the prana is now moving, and eventually you will be able to move prana in different areas. You feel an inflammation, diffuse it, move it away. Lot of thoughts, lot of prana in the head region, diffuse. Migraine, lot of prana in the head region, diffuse. Start thinking of toes instead of head. So you can actually move the prana away from a certain area, or you can move prana into a certain area. That is up to you. So when you have a headache, if you keep on just, expecting the headache to go away, you're only adding more prana to it. That is one more layer of thought on top of what is happening there. That is only going to increase the prana. So you can just say, relax and bring from head to toe DRT. We do head to toe DRT there. Just with one inhale and then exhale, sweep your prana to the legs. That kind of stuff. So a lot of these visualizations and bringing the prana, moving the prana will help. Just have to practice, nothing else. Yes, question.
So one of the things that I've seen seen that kind of works is to suggest that you observe yourself lying on the floor
Yeah.
from above,
Yeah.
and especially after you have acknowledged that you're fully supported, there's no muscle that needs to be
Yeah.
pulling anywhere. Imagine you're melting into the earth.
Yeah.
So that whole notion, kind of visualization, also different kinds of visualizations stick with different kind of people. So we probably want to prompt different things on
Yeah.
different days,
Yeah.
because you never know what will stick with
Yeah.
one person.
Perfect. Yes. That's why your DRT should not become a mechanical instruction.
No, I mean,
That is a waste of your own sadhana time there, right? Yeah. They should become the most inspiring time is DRT time.
I mean, I've tried it after gym also, right? If you go to gym and then every time I went, I did DRT separately for 10 minutes, and I felt good after coming out of that workout.
Exactly.
So,
So in fact, we are yoga therapists, right? We go to these patients and we give them DRT. Half of the time they are sleeping, but we have to give the instructions as if they are not. It's not like, okay, the guy is sleeping, just okay. No, there is a subconscious level of reaching also, right? Somehow, maybe they are half sleeping. It doesn't matter. You still have to talk. Totally, just half the instructions would have been missed. But what is happening then? Whom are you giving instructions? Sometimes it feels like you are talking to yourself. Yes, you are, and you should feel that inspiration to be able to do your sadhana there, and through that you are actually healing the person. Your own sadhana is healing that person with that compassion, not because, "Arey, chhod do, he's sleeping, let me now say the instructions that I want to say, and it should apply to me." Yeah.
So I just want to share along those lines. So when I started teaching like deep relaxation, shavasana, and what we used to call the yoga nidra, so I had the same inspiration. Oh, that person is anyway sleeping, so I can stop giving instruction. What happened was, it surprised me. 2 minutes after that, he woke up and said, "Why did you stop speaking?" It was like a lullaby.
Yeah.
calming voice, right?
Yeah,
The
and
calming
plus you
voice.
don't know. You don't know whether they are sleeping or not. And also, even if they are sleeping, subconsciously there is so much that they are getting. That's what Yoga Nidra is all about. It's about that subconscious instructions, which probably are much deeper than the conscious mind, and they get it. If I have to sleep in between the crowd, I will give you a beautiful thing, right? Yesterday I went home and I was very tired. I had only 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and I was every time. Friday is like the busiest day for me. I have to prepare so many things, and I was in meetings after meetings after meeting on top of it. So the brain is to the super extent, right? How do you now, afternoon I go, and how do I sleep? My mom, my dad, and now my brothers visit because my parents are home, and my uncle was visiting. So the huge crowd, and I had only 2 hours, and then go to the concert and then work on the evening stuff. I said, what do I do now? And kids will be running around, my brother's children. What do we do? Okay, I put the music on. Which one? The Mandukya Upanishad by Pandit Jasraj, and go into it. Just feel every string of that music, and somewhere along the line you will catch the sleep. But then those little moments, right, where you're not in deep sleep for an hour. Somewhere you just sleep for only 10-15 minutes of deep sleep, but the rest of it is all REM and all. But see, you have trained yourself to tune into this music. Every time there is a slight waking cycle or change cycle, the music just comes live, and you are again drenching yourself into music. In between, due to some huge stress at work, and I was doing the Yoga Bhakti work, I was so drained that I used to sleep only 4 or 5 hours, and the body, mind, everything becomes used to that 4 or 5 hours of sleep. But then the neural system, I have stressed myself like nobody can. I've done this CARS testing that you should never try again. And I did my MA, and Yoga Bharati huge project was going on, my MA final exams, and I cannot not study, and I had hardly studied. With all that, so 3 months of just, you cannot imagine. One day I was at the brink of this nervous breakdown. I knew I was not able to sleep, and my brain is just totally in some funny state. I told my son, Chinmay, he's a yoga teacher, so I said, I want to go for a walk. My eyes were burning. I said, can you take me for a walk? I have to close my eyes. And how I would study, I was always in the sun for those 3 days, 3 months. Luckily it was summer, I used to study in sun because I couldn't eat much. If I ate much, I cannot then stay awake because food makes you tamasic. So I was so rajasic and to some extent sattvic, but sattvic rajas was there that you don't want to know. I finished in first class, I finished my MA, but then the price I paid was not small. So I asked him to take me for a walk, eyes closed. And same thing I did with Yoga Sangam also in 2012. Same thing, 5 months, last 3 months, 3 hours, 2 hours, you have no idea how horrible it was. And then when we went to Golden Gate, I did the same thing. I held Raghuramji's hand. Raghuramji, I cannot even open my eyes because they are burning. You take me. The coldest of weather that time, and here it was warm. I held Raghuramji's hand. Next time I held Chinmay's hand. Went for a nice walk. Totally just, stayed with the walk. And after coming back, I told Chinmay, give me a DRT. And he gave a DRT that was so powerful. He's very good with DRT. He gave that. That is when I slept. Sleep had gone off my dictionary. To that extent, I have pushed myself many times. But anyway, sorry. Am I saying to the wrong crowd on the recording? But that is the point. If you want to achieve something, you have to push yourself to a certain limit, not to that limit. I got into a lot of trouble with my husband as well, as you can expect. But yes, I have learned so much from that experience. Thank God God kept me to that extent, because that gave me such a thrill of Karma Yoga. Once I finished the MA, for good 2 days, I was in Samadhi. Just simply just there. Same thing happened after my IAYT project also. Submitted, went for a foot massage. I called my massage therapist and she said, I'm busy, I cannot do it. I went to a foot massage, the nearby one, got the foot massage, came back, it was Diwali day. My resolve was, until I finish and file this thing, I'm not going to celebrate my Diwali. And that was the day, nothing, not even anything. I just sat from morning till 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, doesn't matter, and just doing the work. Not even food inside. No bath, because no bath, no food. I don't eat without bath, so that's it. I'm sitting there like that. So that resolve can be done. Everything can be done thanks to yoga. It teaches you the power of what you can do without worrying about, this whole thing is going to bring ruins to me and all. Yes, you do pay. I want to say that. I paid my knees and this and that. Not saying it doesn't have any cost to the body, but you develop a very interesting control over your own self as a whole. Body is not the self itself as a whole. So Karma Yoga can take you to the point of Samadhi. And after that filing, after that 6 months of work, for 7 days I was in a very interesting Samadhi state. Very interesting. Just peace for 7 days. The whole 7 days. I thought, what is this state? It was very interesting. So you have to know that all of these done with the highest focus, highest dedication can bring you that same Samadhi. Yeah, that is what this DRT or anything for that matter is about. Now, having said this, once again, some days spend more time on breath awareness and different parts of the body. You can give it for 45 minutes, DRT can be done for 45 minutes. And that's what usually we do they do in Prashanti. After lunch, they give DRT, which is sad, but people sleep. But then if you are sitting there and giving DRT for 45 minutes, you have meditated for 45 minutes. This in retreat settings and whatnot, after lunch we give them DRT. It's okay, some will sleep, some will actually stay awake, and they will be enjoying these instructions. Okay?
I had one specific instance where when I was giving DRT, everything was fine. After the class, one person came up to me and said, I had the toughest time during that DRT. And that was the only time I've had that instance. And this person said that I just wasn't able to let go. And I felt relatively helpless at that point. I don't know if anyone else has had that.
Yeah.
But you know, that's the point, is for someone to recognize that they couldn't let go. That's the whole point of awareness, right? So that's actually, you did a great thing there, to let this person know that maybe next time, his body will realize that he can't let go. And because the body is so self-healing, it kind of does its own healing.
Yeah.
Even a doctor, when you go to a medical doctor here, it's not the medication, that little small pill is not going to change things by itself. It triggers some mechanism in the body that the body then, gets into this domino effect of releasing things. And it's still you're triggering a self-healing mechanism, right?
Very, very, very good point there. In fact, PTSD clients actually feel worse. Dr. Nagaratna was talking about this incident where there is a whole bunch of PTSD, some juvenile incarcerated centers and whatnot. They bring all these people to Prashanti, and there was a whole batch of these folks who were semi-criminals and with all these PTSD, and they were themselves abused people and whatnot. And after about 2 or 3 days of these DRT and various yoga sessions, the third day they were violent. They were just simply violent in all these DRT kind of meditation sessions. And the whole therapists were going, what's going on here? Why are they like this? And then Dr. Nagaratna sat with each one of them and talked about it. Then she said all of these, not all, but at least quite a few of them who became violent were actually now beginning to remember their abuse. They were just abused and they didn't have any such thing. They were just criminals, simply branded criminals, right? That's it. Very violent and whatnot. Now they were talking to her about what happened to them, which came up. So this being able to recognize that I'm not able to let go, being able to come to you and say, hey, today this is what I felt. Actually, I came across that too. We come across routinely, by the way. And when we say relax your toes or relax your ankles, they say, how do I relax? I don't know how to relax. Naturally, how do you relax your calf muscles, for example? Okay, toes at least you will move and then you know how to relax. But then calf, how do you relax calf? How do you relax your soles? You're saying you say soles of your feet. How to relax the soles of your feet? Then I give random awareness. I just simply asked one anxiety patient actually. She came with horrible mood that day. She said, I haven't slept for days and today I'm on the verge of breaking down. Can you help me? Can you really help me? I'm just in a very bad situation and there's no way you can give me DRT because my mind is reeling. I said, don't worry, just relax, I'll help you. So I made her lie down and I said, just bring your awareness to your right thumb, left eyeball, right pinky, the left nostril, right foot, big toe of your right foot, things like that. And then relax in between, none of these things. Relax, think of a tree outside this room, things like that. Now bring your awareness to a sound outside this room. The car that goes by. Did you hear the sound of the car that just went? Bring your awareness to the chirping of the bird outside. Now the left eye. See, you have to sort of just simply move them here and there and here and there so that they are no more automated instructions, toes and ankles and blah, blah, blah. They've heard that many times. So I did that. And after that, she relaxed. And I was there in the room for 20 minutes after she slept. She was snoring and she slept and I said, okay, what shall I do now? After all instructions were over, I just sat there. She was sleeping. and I was doing my work. She woke up after 20 minutes and she said, "Where am I?" She said, I'm here. "Did I sleep?" I said, "Yeah, you slept." "No, I was not sleeping." I said, "You did sleep, see the time there?" And she said, "Yeah, but I didn't feel like I slept." I said, "Yeah, that's because you are, whatever thoughts you have been thinking before and now, you are sort of doing that. There is a cruise control thoughts that happen. Don't worry, you still got your relaxation. Are you feeling better? Don't worry about whether you slept or not. Are you feeling slightly better than before?" She then brought her awareness to her mind and she said, "Yeah," and she actually touched my feet and she said, "I feel better, really I feel better, thank you." And she had to go and pick up her mom from the airport and she didn't know whether she would be able to drive, and she says, "Now I know I can drive." Mom was supposed to come and help her out, but yeah,
So
we get
because
such
these-
patients.
Sometimes because of the anxiety, they cannot stay in the present moment, right? They like the same thoughts are going through, the same gramophone is getting stuck. So by having them become conscious, they become present. And when they're present, they forget about, they can break that cycle of anxiety that, oh my God, with what happened to me and whatever they're worrying about, they might be able to break that by being present. And they start learning to be present by doing that.
Yep. Okay, alright, so we have about 5 minutes. I'm just going to go over one more aspect and I will actually ask you to read this. Where is that? So many of those. See, I have, all this is a work in progress, by the way. Talk about multitasking. Not finding my document on OM. So, the DRT instructions, if you sat and read the DRT instructions, which you should actually, you will see that it's, people just read very quickly, but that if you simply finished all the instructions, it will take you at least 20 minutes. It's a 20-minute DRT instructions that we have written there. But that's why you should not be in a rush to do the whole thing as a ritual. You should focus on different aspects each time. Sometimes on breath awareness, sometimes on the muscle relaxation, sometimes on out of body experience. So various such things you just pick each day and do that. Okay. I also have this. No, I cannot reach that. OM meditation. I have one document which I'm going to share you on OM meditation. Leave this here for now. I'll show you the document, but I'll ask you to read, and next time we'll discuss this OM meditation and actually practice. We do bring OM meditation also during the Yoga Yajna. Why, is it okay there? Had it on. OM meditation is one other most powerful practice with so many subtleties there too. It's pretty slow. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Before anything else, MIMT, one small practice, and then we'll give it to Sri Ram's. Please sit down comfortably, close your eyes. I mean, don't close your eyes actually. We'll practice with eyes open. Can you adjust the, is it okay?
Yeah, perfect. Yes.
The focus is okay, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Better now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just simply sorry. Shouldn't have technology and meditation together. Keep your eyes open and observe the picture. Simply focus on the center point. Minimal blinking, possibly without blinking. Observe the triangles. The forward, the upward and the downward triangles. The lotus, the entire geometry. And gently close your eyes. And continue to visualize Sri Yantra. Now, make the picture of Sri Yantra in between your forehead go away. That is, to focus and defocus. So focus and get the yantra in between your forehead and defocus. Practice this at your own pace. Initially slow, visualizing the Sri Yantra, and then slowly defocusing. Increase the speed of this focus and defocus. If needed, open your eyes and then close back again, if that helps. Otherwise, simply have your eyes closed, focus and defocus. Gently open your eyes and continue to gaze at the Sri Yantra, the Bindu. gently close your eyes. And now make it bigger and bigger and bigger. The yantra becomes as big as the universe and you are encapsulated into that. And slowly start visualizing it to become smaller and smaller and smaller. And it itself collapses into a bindu, a little dot. You may repeat this practice. And at the end of the practice, simply diffuse, defocus, and perform dhyana, wherein the entire yantra merges into the void, into the vast expanse of the universe, which is Akasha, not the void. That which seems like a void, but that is everything. Joining your hands at the heart center, we'll sing Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It's a very small prelude to this MIMT technique. Can be done. For those who are visual minded, you'll probably enjoy this. You can use Trataka, you can use Sri Yantra, you can use Om itself, the picture of Om. You can use your own deity to bring that same gazing, then visualizing, closing your eyes, then opening and closing if needed, or simply bringing the image itself with your eyes closed, visualizing, focusing, defocusing, and then expanding and contracting. And eventually, of course, the goal is always silence. So silence from visual, pictorial mind, silence from the verbal mind, both. We practice Om meditation where we keep the picture of Om. We'll do that in one of the days. On one of the days, we bring the picture of Om, and we also bring the sound of Om. We do both, so that way both pictorial mind and the visual mind are, and the verbal mind are silenced. It's a very nice practice. Prashanti, every day morning they do that. Now I just want to finish this with one little reading here. I just want to tell you how MEMT can be applied, and has been done here by somebody who did not practice MEMT. I'll read it. Okay, this was a teenager, my son, Chetan, who was afraid of dark. Okay, he wrote an article when he was 25, about 2015. The article, I just found it. I was searching for MEMT and I found this article. It was funny, I don't know why that came as MEMT, why the search was resulted in this article, but that applies very much to MEMT. Without a word MEMT, I found that. I just walked around past midnight alone in the dark. That might not seem like a big deal to you if you have done it before, but it was a big deal to me because this was the first time I have ever taken a walk alone at night. I've never done it before because I'm afraid of the dark. That's the truth. I've always been afraid of the dark. Not in any ultimately paralyzing way though. If I had to do it, I'm sure I could have mustered up the courage to walk down the street and back, but the fear has always overridden any passing desire to be alone outside at night. It was not just worth it. But tonight I felt like going outside and I decided, screw it, I'm going for a walk. This is a teenager writing. Okay, so I wore a sweatshirt, grabbed my keys, wallet and phone and left. If you have ever been afraid of the dark, you will understand when I say that very soon after I walked down the street, I felt crippling fear. Anything could be lurking out there where I can't see a thing. And my mind eagerly conjured up images to fill the dark of murderers and snakes and even goddamn demons. I was highly attuned to the slightest movement, the faintest sound. Believe me, this is the fear anybody goes through. But I just observed sensation of fear and images in my mind and kept walking. The part of me that was observing knew that these thoughts were not grounded in reality. It's very unlikely that there is actually anything dangerous out there. This is suburban Cupertino after all. And demons? Geez, I had no real reason to be having these thoughts. But they were there anyway. So I just observed them. This is Yogi Jean talking proudly. I'm just taking the credit for it. When I got to the nearby park, When I got to the nearby park Jollyman, I could sense within me a deep hesitation of walking in. Almost everything I could see of the park was shrouded in darkness, and what was little was faintly illuminated, looking sinister and foreboding. But having come this far, while noticing the feeling of doubt and paranoia, I just decided to walk in. It really was not as bad as my mind had made out to be. I was still highly sensitive to movement and sounds, but I continued to observe the thoughts and feelings in my mind. After a while of getting used to it, the walk actually became downright pleasant. I could look at the glow of the lamppost, the sparkle of the sprinklers, without the nagging paranoia overwhelming everything. I walked all the way into a deep, dark field at the far end of the park, where I stood in the middle and looked up at the sky. The stars were twinkling and it was beautiful. I realized that this wonderful experience of being alone in the dark, staring up at the twinkling stars in quiet contemplation, was something I had never had before, simply because of some stupid construct of my mind. Suddenly there was a rustling sound nearby. As aware and deliberate I had been just a moment ago, that's how rapidly I turned and bolted. I sprinted for about a second and then my mind cleared. I realized that there was no harm. It was probably just a sprinkler turning. Then I stopped and paid attention to the flood of hormones in my bloodstream and how my body felt. I really focused on that terror that was still pounding through my veins. After a couple of seconds, it subsided, and then I looked up and continued looking at the twinkling stars. I ended up walking around the city for over an hour and a half. It was a beautiful, serene experience. As the night progressed, my paranoia subsided. I think just being out there and seeing for myself that there was no monsters in the shadows helped me in ways that just sitting and thinking about it would have never done. On my way home, I felt at peace with the dark I had never had before. So this is a very good narration, beautiful article. He had sent me 2015, I had never read it. Can you believe this? And I searching for MEMT, I found it. And, oh, what is this article? And I read it's exactly what MEMT practice could take a person who is having this nagging something, right? Some notional issue with dark, with phobia, some phobia, can be PTSD, can be as simple as, oh, recently this happened to me and now on I'm afraid of traveling in the car, especially with accidents and things like that. We become fearful of those similar, episodes that might repeat, all these things. So teaching them awareness will help them observe their feelings. Basically, what happens when you're afraid? He has done it. The blood, the hormones kicking in, I was able to see all of that. So nice. So I thought I'll bring it. Okay, thank you for taking extra 10 minutes.